Looking at the 23rd Psalm, in verse 1, David said, "The Lord is my shepherd." And we talked yesterday about the first part of that statement, the Lord. But it's not the whole statement. He says, "The Lord is my shepherd." And we talked about the need yesterday of having a shepherd, but it's also important that we choose the right shepherd. See, He's the Lord whether He's your shepherd or not. And so David writes to encourage us to make the Lord our shepherd. See, David was intimately familiar with the relationship between his sheep and the shepherd. He knew from years of personal experience the role and responsibilities of a shepherd. One day, while watching his sheep, a bear, and another time a lion came into the flock seeking a meal. And David ran out with his sling and his staff to stand between the lion and the bear and his sheep, to protect his sheep, even at the expense of his own life. Why? Because that's what a good shepherd did. When they were in need of new grass or somewhere to drink, David would lead the sheep to a good pasture, to a place where they could safely drink. Why? Because that's what a good shepherd did. When they were going through difficult passages, narrow ravines where the sheep might fall or be injured, David would stand beside them. He would use his staff to guide and direct them, and if need be, he would pick them up and carry them. He stayed by them all the time. Why? Because that is what a good shepherd did. And when a sheep was lost, when a sheep wandered off, David would go out seeking the sheep. He would go out in the dark, if need be, by himself and look for that sheep. Why? Because that's what a good shepherd did. Somebody asked, when did David write this 23rd Psalm? We don't know. I tend to think it was not while he was a shepherd. I think it was sometime later, possibly much later, as he looked back on his life. And so while we don't know when he started writing it, we do see throughout his life him living out this truth, this faith that the Lord was his shepherd. Consider when Goliath goes out and mocks the children of Israel. When Goliath goes out and taunts them, and David decides that he will go into the valley and fight Goliath. Why did David do that? Why did David have the courage to go and fight Goliath? Because as David told Saul, the Lord was his shepherd. God would protect him. God would fight for him. When David is fleeing from Saul and King Saul is in his jealous rage is trying to kill David, and David has an opportunity to kill Saul, but he doesn't do it. And everyone wants to know, David, why won't you do this? Because David replies, because the Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is protecting me. He is caring for me. I'm not trusting in Saul's protection. I'm trusting in God's. And we see over and over in the life of David, David's scared, he's worried, he's at a difficult point in his life. He doesn't know what to do. And in almost every case, he stops and he makes the claim, he makes the decision that he will seek direction and guidance from God because the Lord is his shepherd. Is God your shepherd? Is He one you look to for direction and guidance and for care? Is He the one you look to provide for you? I love what Dallas Willard said. He said, one of our greatest needs today is for people to really see and really believe the things they already profess to see and believe. Knowing about things, knowing what they are, and being able to identify them and say them does not mean we actually believe them. When we truly believe what we profess, we are set to act as if it were true. Acting as if things were true means in turn that we live as if they are so. Are you living as though you believe the Lord is your shepherd? That He will guide and direct and protect and care for you. He's not just the Lord. He wants to be your shepherd.